So you want your momentum to be high as well, not just your base score. And that helps a lot when you use your contact swing. And you really have to get high up to get your points total. It's kind of like exponential growth with your score, because at first your momentum and your score are going to be low. So early on, there's not much disparity between the scores of lower rated players. Once you get up higher and you're getting your like 100 momentum and like 40,000, what is it, 40,000? No, 400,000. Once you got your momentum up to like 100 and your score is like 40,000, that's when you start to see a big difference in the scores. So you'll get a lot more of like the millions, and those really separate it. So you really want to get your momentum up there and just keep that streak alive, because really it just takes one good streak to get a good score in that game.
Here comes the first pitch of the at-bat. On the ground to the left side. That's the final out, inning over. The next batter is,
and at some point I'll do some gameplay of MLB The Show. I have a couple of videos pretty much ready to go, so I'll have those up for you as well.
bring up Jason Worth. He comes up a little bit short.
There's a base hit up the middle.
He's on first with a
But yeah, I know you guys, it's already, what, September pretty much. It probably will be September by the time you guys see this video. So MLB The Show is pretty much done for the year. That is very strange in this game, that there are a lot of choppers. If you chop it right in front of the plate, it can sometimes bounce over the infielder, and that just almost never happens in MLB, but it happens kind of often in this game.
He hacked at it and missed. Tell you what, this guy's got an
But yeah, so this season's almost done, so there's not too much more like new that I can give you about MLB The Show. I should have went home. I could have scored. There's not too much more I can give you about MLB The Show that's not already on YouTube. So I plan on doing some big production when the next one comes out, MLB The Show 17. And we'll have some fun with that, but for now there's not too much of the current game that can add on. If you guys have ever watched Cardinal Bird 5, dude's a legend. Like, I don't think he plays Challenge of the Week too much, because whenever I see him on the leaderboard, he's in like 5th place or higher, and he's always done it in like one attempt. So I just feel like, you know, he's like, alright, let me just do it this time. Or maybe they don't even let him play that often because he's like a community leader and they know how good he is, so they don't want him taking all the prizes. But yeah, he's got a channel on YouTube too, so if you guys want to check that out, he got some good stuff. I learned a lot of hitting tips from him. And I think my skills in terms of actual hitting, like where to hit, things like that, are good. But my approach can sometimes be absolutely horrible. Either the approach to, you know, where I want to see the ball in the zone, or just taking pitches. Because once you get into higher levels, once you get past pretty much, what is it, DS? Division Series? Is that what it's called? The second one? Or the third one? Whatever's the All-Star mode. Once you get it to CS, then it gets harder, where people are actually, people actually take pitches and stuff. They actually have a good game plan of how they want to approach the pitcher. So that's kind of where I'm struggling right now. I've been up and down between 1800 and 1900.
The inside outset to the
And there it is again, that chopper.
a run.
Um,
RBI
so yeah, I've been up and down in the CS Championship Series. Mostly because of that, because I'm not too consistent with how I approach a pitcher.
RBI base hit.
And once I can do that, just being a little bit more patient, looking for my pitch, which is what I've struggled with the most, that's when I think I'll be able to take it to another level.
That's a big time breaking ball. The catch is made by Abreu.
Alright, so that was a pretty solid inning.
The White Sox.
And I know I've been talking a lot about MLB The Show in this game, but let's jump back in and see what exactly is going on here. So it's 5-1, bottom of the 8th. Cruised right through this game. Wes King, who used to be on my team, now on Tigers, rival team. But I think that was a good move for us. Actually, I think we might have got Bobby Crosby for him. So basically a shortstop for a shortstop. But Bobby Crosby has done more in terms of MLB service and production. So I figured it was good to get him on the team. Because Wes King was hitting around 200, and I just wasn't having that because his defense was not good enough to, like, you know, merit his stay on the team as a starter after I traded Lugo, because Lugo was hitting very poorly. Basically, the guys I traded were highly ranked prospects, but they were hitting very poorly, and it's not like I gave up someone who was doing well to get someone who was just like better ratings, because it was a little of both. Yeah, we're still on all-star difficulty, so pitching I've gotten used to. It's not really too different from the show, so going back and forth between those are pretty easy. Hitting's a little bit different, but I think I've got the timing down, the timing difference down. At first it was like, alright, I don't know if I'm going to be able to switch between these two games, but it's feeling pretty solid right now. You see liner down the line, try to get to that. Nice. But yeah, it's kind of like, you know, if you go in the gym and practice threes all day, then one day you're like, all right, let me take some twos. It doesn't automatically mean then you just want to take some twos. And that's deep off the wall. All right, that's good enough. Should have went to second with Pujols, but yeah. So if you go in and shoot threes all the time, then one day you want to shoot twos, you know, mid-range jump shots, it's going to be different. And then if you try to go back to threes, maybe it'll take a little bit of an adjustment. But once you practice both, you know, obviously you're going to be able to do both. You're trying to close the gap in terms of how much of a difference it is for you, if that makes any sense. So like that, once you're able to do a little bit of both, just like that, you can jump back and forth in between these games without too much of a problem, because you know the differences that are going to happen. Oh. And something I'm really excited about is this MLB The Show in real life game video that I want to do. I'm hoping by the time this video is out, I will also have that video pretty much ready to go, maybe at the same time as this one. So definitely check that out. It's going to be a little bit of the glitches that you'll see, that you always see in MLB The Show. That was a weird catch. Almost overran it. So yeah, just not just the glitches, but also, you know, the good parts, the fun parts, the exciting parts. As frustrating as it might be sometimes playing online, some of the glitches that happen, still my favorite game. Nothing can beat it. And hopefully it's something that they fix for next year. Some of those glitches, because it has the potential to be like freaking amazing, and it is pretty awesome right now, but it's not as good as it could be, I think, because sometimes the problem is that there'll be something that's bad in one game and then they'll fix it for the next game, but then something else goes wrong, and I just don't understand why that keeps happening. I'll show you either before or after this video. I'll put a link in the cards that actually I have a video of all the recordings I made of weird things that happen between like MLB The Show 10 to MLB The Show 14, and it's pretty funny. There's some weird things, just absolutely weird, that they obviously San Diego Studios fixed pretty quickly for the next release, but then things that didn't happen that, you know, but then for the next release there was something wrong that you were like, alright, this wasn't wrong in the last game, so why is it messing up now? Because in each of those games they had some really great things, and it's just like you see that they've done that specific part. For instance, like the way that the ball, the way that the fielders throw, it was perfect for most of the games and just messed up in one game. And then something that they fixed for that game was bad before, and they can definitely fix it because I know that at some point it was correct. And once they're able to like smooth out every single detail, it's going to be awesome, because I can't even explain right now, because it'll just be flawless. And I know they can do it, so I'm excited. Alright, so now we're one game up on the Tigers, and I'm going to go ahead and play some of the next couple of games. Yeah, so in the next episode we'll do a little bit of the playoffs, I think, assuming I get to the playoffs. And we'll check that out. We'll see what kind of revenue I can get from the playoffs, because we're going to need some money going into next season. Maybe make some trades. I did make a lot of trades to get rid of some... I did make a lot of trades to get rid of some of the payroll issues. Like there were a couple of minor league guys that were getting paid like $7 million, and I just wasn't going to have that, so got rid of those guys. But for some reason that revenue, the expenses are still way up there. So hope you guys like this video. Maybe it was a little bit more smooth than the last couple. Let me know what you think in the comments section. Like, subscribe, do what you gotta do, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.